we're the Boneheads. My name's Jake.
My name's Kevin.
And my name's Jack.
And this is Bonehead's Top 9, and we're doing Top 9 Underrated Bands.
Here's the disclaimer. This is our top 9.
Not yours.
So don't get pissed at us if it's a band you hate or a band you like that's not on the list.
Don't be the typical YouTube asshole.
Now,
please.
first, number 9 is Big Star.
Big Star.
I chose
Superstar.
13. I chose this band, Big Star, because they are an amazingly underrated power pop group from the classic rock era of the 70s, and they really didn't get enough recognition. And if you like bands like Cheap Trick and The Cars, this band's for you. You'll love them.
Yeah, they wrote a song called 13, which was like the song we'd all listen to before we had done the list, just to kind of freshen up on each band. And the first song I'd ever written, I actually named the song 13, and then I was paranoid. So I looked up the word 13 as a song, and I vaguely remember Big Star 13 showing up, and I had no idea who that was. But I said, damn it, they wrote a song called 13, so I changed the name to School on Friday, which we actually had just recorded the drums for earlier today as the radio types.
I'm not in their band, but I recorded it. Number 8, The Romantics.
The Romantics we had to give some credit to a Detroit-based band since two of us are born in Michigan,
blah, blah.
and one is living in Michigan, even though he wasn't born here.
Yep,
Jack.
that's me.
And if you said The Romantics, people probably wouldn't know who you're talking about mostly, but if you started singing the song that they're mostly known for, then people were like, oh!
What I like about you.
You hold me tight.
Like,
Yeah!
But yeah, like, The Romantics is like, this. It's such a good song, and they're such a good band, and I recommend you go out and buy a record of theirs, even if it's just a greatest hits. About it, by the way.
Number 7 is Coheed and Cambria.
Lead singer looks like Jimmy Page.
Thank you, Jake. Now, these guys are underrated for the very fact that they have had one big song, only big because of Rock Band. All their other albums have little recognition, and, that's it. Number 6, Buzzcocks.
Play Freebird.
Number 6, Buzzcocks.
Buzzcocks are kind of like the Romantics, and this is a band I chose, like, where you wouldn't really recognize them by name, but if you heard their, like, most recognizable song, you'd be like, oh, I know them, and it's Ever Fallen in Love, parentheses, with someone you shouldn't have, Ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with
I actually don't know it.
Go away. Go listen to the song, and then come back.
Okay,
Actually,
Buzzcocks.
I fully agree with Jake on this one because they have some amazing songs. Like, if you don't listen to them, definitely check out some songs like Promises and What Do I Get. They're amazing. They're a really great pop writer group.
And basically, if it wasn't for Shrek 2 or whatever whatever movie that song was in, most people still wouldn't really know that song. And I actually think it was a cover song.
Bonehead's Top 9, sponsored by Shrek.
All right, what's number 5?
Shout out to
Hey,
Shrek
Shrek's an
3, that
awesome
was a
movie.
terrible movie.
Shout out to Shrek 3, YOLO.
Oh, fucking YOLO. Okay, number 5 is Between the Buried and Me, another one of my picks. They are technical death metal band.
Notice how Jake stays silent on these ones.
Deathcore. Shut up, Jake. But anyway, these guys, they're really underrated. They have amazing guitar playing skills. Their lead singer is versatile, and he plays synth, he screams, and he sings, he plays cowbell once.
I like the one song they did where it sounds like a computer.
I
So
actually
when you say that and you
What?
don't know what song I'm talking about, that's not usually a good sign.
I do like the leads in that song. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they have like serious talent. And I'm going to see these guys soon, and they're not headlining. Coheed and Cambria's headlining.
So why are they?
I couldn't think. But there you go.
We prepared.
There's BT Band. Number 4, Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Okay, this is a band I picked, and I would have put them at number 1 if it wasn't for Scene Chicks. Because, alright, Mindless Self-Indulgence is what you call cyberpunk, which basically means they're basically somewhat of a punk band with a synthesizer, and they use it a lot.
And it's cool.
I kind of hate bands who do that, but I love it when Mindless Self-Indulgence does it, especially because they're just so inappropriate all the time. And I'm pretty sure they're an indie band, but they have a huge following due to Scene Chicks. And, but they're
Dude, I
really
love the
good,
Misfits.
and everybody should, like, really check
Black
them out.
Veil Brides.
Everybody should check them out, and their bassist is very hot. But she's married to that guy from My Chemical Romance.
Oh.
I know, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, I say I'm not like a huge fan, but I do definitely like how they're trying to be offensive. Like I don't really like shock value that much, but they can pull it off pretty well. And also, I just want to say, guys, serious question: Black Veil Brides or Falling in Reverse?
Falling in Reverse.
Neither. But if there was a band I had to pick for the last 20 years who is the closest thing to original that kind of created their own thing, I'd probably pick Mindless Self-Indulgence.
All right, number 3 is Saves the Day. This is another one of my picks. And a little background info. Fall Out Boy started as a Saves the Day cover band. That's how they got noticed. And yes.
I thought they sounded cool, but I just can't get past the fact that their singer sounds like a chick.
You know what? When I started listening to them, I couldn't get past that either. Now I'm just used to it. So it's one of those things that you gotta listen to. But anyway, these guys are great. They are what I think the last band that I've heard of recently that has the good emo. Not the Fall Out Boy MCR emo.
But not the Jawbreaker emo.
No. The old kind of early 90s, late 80s emo. These guys are great. I've met them all.
Jawbreaker.
So, number 2, Superchunk.
Superchunk is they are what I like to call the original indie rock, which is when people think of indie rock now, they think of hipster bands that are trying to be really different when they're not that different at all. When I say indie bands, is punk bands who got tired of playing strictly punk rock music. They want to experiment with like pop and folk and other elements, which is like what bands like Husker Du, The Replacements, and Superchunk all eventually did. They got like, we're fucking tired of punk's all strict rules. Let's do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, you know,
and
because YOLO, right?
Fuck you, Jack. Yeah. The funniest thing though is claim to fame. Nirvana opened for Superchunk before after Bleach came out, and people were more excited for Superchunk. And honestly, they're just
Take that, Dave Grohl. But I love you.
Take that, Kurt Cobain.
I don't love you.
Take that, Courtney Love, you fucking bitch.
She wasn't in Nirvana.
She might as well have been.
Her band's called Hole.
But honestly, I love
her career's one.
I love Superchunk. No Pocky for Kitty is an amazing album. Like, I would recommend it to you if you're into indie rock and you want to see where its roots are. They're very melodic, very poppy, and very catchy.
Okay, number 1. We almost didn't even need to say anything else after this band was brought up. I proudly would like to say I brought them up. Jack, when I say I Fought the Law, who did you originally think of?
Clash.
Exactly.
And Green Day.
But no. Guess who wrote it? The Crickets.
They're Jake, like almost who are the Crickets?
Funny. They're like the most underrated band in history because they wrote an amazing song, and then the Clash, who is amazing. Let's not give them credit for being awesome, but they covered it and they kind of gave the song its claim to fame when really the Crickets had written it originally. And so I very much vote the Crickets for number 1.
Well, anyway, thank you guys for listening to our top 9 bullshit. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to leave hate comments, I will personally respond to them. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
YOLO!
Fuck.